Get instant news and information.
Flowers are sent. Now let's access the online travel service.
How long have you had this?
About a week. Plane tickets are ordered. Now, let's look up dinosaurs. What do you think? Compton's Encyclopedia or National Geographic?
You get all that with America Online?
Yeah, you can read Business Week online before it hits the newsstand. You know, I can even send email on the internet. And of course, there's my personal favorite, live chat. That's how I met my new kayaking buddies. We'll check that out later, after the game.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Hillary Clinton has finally had to answer a question on the record about Jeffrey Epstein. She'll be doing a lot of that if they actually testify. For fear of going to prison before Congress, they fought it off as long and as hard as they possibly could. That's what they said about Bill Clinton. The reason why you can make a joke like that is because there are literal photos of Bill Clinton, I think maybe with a naked chick in a hot tub. Who knows? Time to ask Bill Clinton. This is definitely an Epstein victim. She's got a black box over her face. There's also photos of Bill Clinton on the plane with young victims, and they're sitting on his lap, and he has his arm around them, and they're not wearing any clothes. And so, these kind of things you're like, well, what's going on? You were former president, and Jeffrey Epstein visited the White House all the time while you were president. You flew on his plane all the time. You went around the world with him. And yet every time somebody asked you a question about it, you run away. Every time being asked a question, only time on the record.
Jeffrey Epstein?
About Jeffrey Epstein. I think the evidence is clear. Well, then testify, bro. Listen, like I think this is amazing. You look at how scared they were. This is Bill Clinton's chief of staff, the guy with the dirty beard there, he comes sprinting in. Look at him bull rush in because he hears the name Epstein. Look at this. You think the Clintons aren't scared? Here's Hillary Clinton. The only time Hillary Clinton was ever confronted about her husband and Jeffrey Epstein on the record, although it just happened again, thank God. This is Alex Rosen talking about Jeffrey Epstein and getting dragged out. So this was Hillary Clinton at a campaign event for Sheila Jackson Lee in Houston. They literally surrounded the guy, swarm him, rip his shirt off, and physically drag him out because he asked an Epstein question. And so it is newsworthy that Hillary is finally answering a single question about Jeffrey Epstein in the public arena. And this happened at the Munich Security Conference. Hillary Clinton finally asked about Jeffrey Epstein, except the reporter didn't mention her husband once, in spite of the fact that her husband and Jeffrey Epstein were like Eskimo brothers, besties, butt buddies, whatever you want to call it. Bill Clinton is mentioned 2,000 times in the Epstein files, and he flew on Epstein's plane. Ghislaine Maxwell also helped start the Clinton Global Initiative and arranged millions of dollars to fund it. So Hillary is finally asked a question. You won't believe what she had to say.
I'm the mother of a daughter, and it absolutely horrifies me to see what the Epstein files have brought out. And I wanted to ask you, what does it say about Western values when Western leaders have perpetuated and participated in these horrific abuses of minors and girls?
Thank you very much. We have gone everywhere from New Start to Epstein. Via some fundamental questions of the critique of rules-based order from the left, of civilization versus values, of conservatism versus liberalism in the US, and other things. Secretary Clinton, as there are a couple directly to you, let me start with you, and then everyone else gets about a minute, and you get a minute and a tiny bit.
Yeah, I heard three in particular. To the last question, it's horrifying, and we're hoping that there will be continued release every day that passes. That doesn't mean, as our news commentators say every day in the United States, that because someone's name is there, they committed a crime. But I think there's a lot of very troubling and really horrific information.
Okay, shut up. Okay, listen. First off, I can't believe I'll play the full answer, but
in particular.
And is this dude? Is it okay? Yeah. Here we go. So,
and then everyone else gets about a minute, and you get a minute and a tiny bit.
She doesn't ask a question about her husband, who was like Jeffrey Epstein's best friend and confidant.
I heard three in particular. To the last question, it's horrifying, and we're hoping that there will be continued release every day that passes. that doesn't mean, as our news commentators say every day in the United States, that because someone's name is there, they committed a crime. But
Okay, so here she is now covering for her
I think
husband.
there's a lot of very troubling and really horrific information coming out. Today came out that Steve Bannon was trying to get Jeffrey Epstein to help him overthrow Pope Francis. I guess that was part of the civilizational true conservatism. So it is something that needs to be totally transparent. I've called for many years for everything to be put out there so people can not only.
No, you haven't, by the way. Like, you have never said anything about Jeffrey Epstein on the record. You've had a microphone in front of your face pretty much non-stop for the last 20 to 30 years, last 50 years, quite frankly. I mean, they won the presidency in 1992. They've been in public office since the 80s. So you're going on 40 years of like non-stop publicity for this lady, and she has never called for anything, for anyone to ever release anything on the Epstein files, ever. We know that because we've looked. So she's lying, obviously. Clinton's mouths are open, so they're lying. And then she notes Steve Bannon, and I'm sitting there, and I'm not going to apologize for Steve Bannon. Like, I think Steve Bannon has a ton of questions that he needs to have answered. He does not look good in the Epstein files. That's just a matter of fact. He doesn't look great. Steve Bannon don't look great, okay, in the Epstein files. So he has an answer for it. But you're not married to Steve Bannon, which would be hilarious. I'd watch that sitcom. You're married to Bill Clinton.
So people can not only see what is in them, but also, if appropriate, hold people accountable. We'll see what happens. On the New START treaty.
If appropriate, can hold people accountable. Not a single word about her husband. Nothing. Hillary says she favors releasing the Epstein files without redactions. Fine. Based on public statements, news reports, and her own posts, Hillary Clinton has not asked for the release of the Epstein files at any time. Recent calls for a public hearing in 2026, she has been running away from the public hearing. Clinton's to testify. Yeah. Got it. We've all seen it. You're in hot water. Okay. Oh, there you go. I'm untouchable, and you should know that. Just a reminder that some of the some of the women in the Epstein files said that Bill Clinton liked him young. That's a direct quote. Meetings with Hillary are not easily discreet when you could ask for meetings with Hillary Clinton in New York, says Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein regularly talked about Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is listed multiple times, including but not limited to how Hillary Clinton loves Epstein's lawyer, how they're super feminists together. How about the pedestal laptop? Crooked Hillary is past due for a grand jury. What about Ghislaine Maxwell being at your daughter's wedding? Look at this. This is, of course, well after Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile sentence. So, like, Maxwell was the fixer, according to everybody involved. Maxwell was the brains behind the operation, and here she is at Bill Clinton's wedding. After Jeffrey Epstein caught a case. Maxwell was at Chelsea's wedding, but nobody asks. Clinton says he was disturbed, but didn't mention her husband, not even once. She's horrified by the Epstein files. Not everybody committed a crime. Unbelievable. All right. Well, if you really are for transparency, then you'll obviously be testifying, right? Right? Clintons are trying to get out of it again. No surprise.
Bill Clinton.
Donald Trump.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot
of problems coming up. We'll see. Make him testify. Could use a couple more answers than that. It's your boy Benny. See ya.